Do you know that you can sell your soul to the Chinese government to make super easy money?
All the West are hoping to do is to stop the rise of China.
And this is the big reason why Western media is always attacking China.
A genocide, they say, a genocide. There is no proof of genocide.
It's totally normal here.
Maybe it was America first to infect the world with coronavirus.
You remember when I taught you guys about white monkey jobs in China? Well, if not, then no problem at all. Let me tell you what it is. A white monkey job is when you go to China, you get hired because you are not Chinese. I kid you not, there are jobs out there that will just simply hire you because you are not Chinese. They think it gives the product or whatever they're selling more validity because it shows those foreigners use their products too. So it's more likely that the domestic populace would buy that product.
I
am Richard from England, European General Agent of the Ginger Boss.
The thing is, white monkey jobs have changed so much. It used to be posing for sunglasses or an underwear model, or even as degrading as being rounded up inside of a pen like a petting zoo so that all the kids can beat and laugh at you while you pretend to be a sheep. Yeah, that's a real thing. Oftentimes they would go hire people to go pretend to play guitar at a wedding, or maybe in a mall, or at a car dealership. But things have changed because China's changed and started to close off under the direction of Winnie the Pooh himself.
Oh yes, I'm rumbly in my tumbly.
What happened is we've seen a shift. There's not a whole lot of foreigners that have stayed in China. In fact, there's a mass exodus of them. So you'd think there'd be a lot less white monkey jobs, but what's happened is that they've simply morphed. They've changed. If you're doing white monkey jobs in China, there is a 90% chance that what you're doing is promoting the Chinese government.
Yeah, now you can imagine how greatly the efficiency is improved.
And I'm gonna go through the 3 tiers of how much money people are making doing this, and also how deep this actually goes, because it's absolutely crazy. With what I do, I have to make sure that I'm safe on the internet at all times. I need to make sure I have secure internet, and that is why I use NordVPN. NordVPN changes your IP address, it covers your tracks, it doesn't let your ISP know where you are, it doesn't let anyone know what you're doing online, so it keeps all of your privacy and data safe. I love it because you can use it on multiple devices. So one account actually lets you connect 6 different devices. So on my cell phone, on all of my computers, everything, I always know that I'm fully protected. I want you guys to make sure you're safe on the internet as well. So take advantage of an exclusive deal. Everyone that follows nordvpn.com/Laowai, not only will you get a massive discount off of a 2-year plan, but you're also gonna get 1 free additional month. It's totally risk-free with NordVPN's 30-day money-back guarantee. That is nordvpn.com/Laowai. Click the link in the description below. Now the first tier will get you between $300 and like $2,000 per trip. This is called the unknowing travel pawn. The unknowing travel pawn will get picked up by a Chinese tourism board, which is 100% of the time the Chinese government, by the way. And they'll ship you off to some unknown area, and you'll be put on camera to dance around and say, hey, I love this place, you should come here too. It's not as simple and innocent as it sounds. You see, that's how they get these foreigners in here, to go to these places, because it looks like just some sort of travel vlog or something. But actually, in my research and the fact that I've lived 10 years in China, I've been offered these many, many times, and I've always turned them down, because it always turns into something else. You see, what they'll do is the Chinese government will say, hey, yeah, we're just gonna go promote an area, but next thing you know it, you're dancing with vegetables. That's right. In fact, in this trip, some of these guys were duped into thinking, hey, we're gonna go see this tourist place that needs a little bit of promotion. We're willing to help out. We'll get our expenses paid for the trip. Next thing you know it, they're dancing with vegetables and meeting up with the head of the Communist Party of China for that local area. Turns out it was a huge propaganda drive. Oftentimes they'll ship you to a beach paradise like Hainan. But what they'll do at the same time to try to milk extra money out of you is bring you around and talk about maybe poverty alleviation, or even pimp you out to some clubs and bars where they'll parade you around and say, hey, look, foreigners like to come here too. The unknowing pawn, usually I give them the benefit of the doubt because they'll learn after that trip what that actually was. Maybe they'll choose not to do this in the future because it always ends up being cheap propaganda. Tier 2 is the shill. The shill knows what they're doing. You see, what happens is when they go on these paid trips where the Chinese government pretends like, hey, you're just working for the local tourism board, it's just a nice little thing, maybe they get a pretty girl to take you around. These are the people that understood what was actually happening there and then furthers the Chinese government's agenda. And they can make a lot more money here.
And this is the big reason why Western media is always attacking China.
In fact, the shills that are willing to sell their souls to the complete extent end up making a ton of money. If you do enough government gigs and enough government propaganda, they'll reward you with some high-level sponsor videos, and those pay very well. Oh, we know. After getting a taste for the easy money, the booze, and the attention, the Chinese officials will see how far they can milk these foreigners, and they'll attempt to hire these people for more sinister things. These white monkeys will go on to know what they've done and then to go all in.
Maybe it was America first to infect the world with coronavirus.
You see, when they're on these trips, they'll have dinner and beers and alcohol and hang out with these government officials that are using them for propaganda, and then they'll get their next task.
All the West are hoping to do is to destabilise the area of Xinjiang to stop the rise of China.
Think about it kind of like a handler situation. You have a handler and you have a spy. These foreigners will go and have these dinners or meetings with these Chinese government officials, and they'll say, hey, thanks for doing that trip on the beach. Thanks for showing off those vegetables. But hey, next up, we're gonna have you go to Western China. And we're gonna have you do some genocide denial propaganda, because all these accusations about the current genocide in Western China, in Xinjiang region, we need people to think that that's not true. So what we'll do is we'll send you over there and we'll make it look like you're just traveling willy-nilly all over the place. And we'll pay you to say, hey, look, I walked around Xinjiang, I didn't see any genocide, I talked to people, everyone's happy here. It's definitely not a surveillance state that's systematically wiping out an entire ethnicity. Because that's actually what happens.
My friends, I highly doubt, just for my first day here in Xinjiang, I highly doubt that all this false claims about genocide against the Uyghurs, it's not true, my friends. Listen, it's absolutely not true. Here's the proof.
It's not just travel or genocide denial propaganda. They also go on just to spread straight up lies and misinformation about China. I mean, China is one of the least free countries in the entire world, with one of the worst press freedom indexes, one of the lowest freedoms of religion, and also one of the greatest abusers of human rights. If you look at any global ranking like Freedom House, you'll see that China scores a 9 out of 100, making it one of the least free countries and most oppressive countries in the entire world. Yet, they'll pay people to say that China has democracy, which is not only laughable, it's just blatantly wrong.
Chinese democracy is something that I've come to understand as my time in China goes by. China's pursuit of democracy is closer to the original principle than in many other countries.
Not only do they hire you to divert away from disasters or the genocide, but they also hire them to do COVID misdirection. When people start asking too many questions about where COVID came from, they will put out documentaries and hire these people to say, hey, I don't even think COVID came from China. It probably came from America.
Why are you trying to hide what leaked from this place? What did you fail to contain, America? Why are you redacting that part of it? What pathogen, toxin, disease, nerve agent, what did you let slip out of there?
Protection! Tier 2, the shills. Yes, these people are willing to sell their souls. This is where you're a full-on asset of the Communist Party of China, but you still have that veneer, that kind of alibi that you can say, you know what, I didn't really know. They put me on this trip and they told me what to say, but hey, I didn't really know what was going on. I don't speak Chinese. I didn't understand the situation.
Here we are enjoying tea just like locals in Kashgar. The flavor is very nice. It's very velvety.
And that's where we end up in Tier 3. Tier 3, honestly, the money, I have no idea. But I'll tell you what, the honor you get from the Chinese Communist Party, over 9,000. Congratulations, comrade, you have made it to the top. You have been co-opted officially by the Chinese state. You don't even have to live in China for this one. This is where you masquerade as a social media influencer, and state diplomats and government officials in China will even use your videos, your material that has been crafted for a specific purpose as evidence in international dialogue. That's how you know you've made it. These people maybe started with the travel trips, maybe they ended up going the full shill route, but now are full-on state mouthpieces pretending like they're some organic influencer. The overt propaganda pays well, but the real prestige comes from being a straight-up spy for the Chinese government, or getting involved in top-level international misinformation campaigns. You remember how Russia was banned from a lot of social media platforms? Well, no worries. China picked up the slack and they actually co-opted their Western shills to post it for them. They're doing the dirty work of the top officials of the Chinese government. Not only that, they're even working on behalf of the Chinese government on US soil. Seriously though, if you want to read about the Department of Justice report, it's absolutely fascinating. The Chinese government straight up hired and co-opted an American spy to work on behalf of the Chinese government to go harass, stalk, and follow an artist who made a statue about Xi Jinping that was unflattering and portrayed him as a virus. And then when that didn't work out, had him destroy the statue, which ultimately led to him getting caught. Wah, wah, wah. These are the real scumbags. Is not only running defense for China's human rights atrocities, but actually just being fully anointed as a Chinese government mouthpiece. The white monkey jobs indeed have changed.
What's your best skill, little man?
So, dare you compete with me?
Whatever.
Long gone are the days that you're modeling $5 sunglasses and drinking cheap knockoff cognac for local Chinese advertisements.
I am the engineer of Neo Dentech. We focus on how to make our SMT machines operate more efficiently.
No, those days are in the past. In fact, I'm pretty happy about that to a certain extent because I've always found this sort of white worship, foreign worship thing not conducive for the future of China. I always wanted to see people in China treated more fairly and equally, but when you have a genocide going on in Western China where an entire ethnic group is being systematically deleted, you have to realize that not a whole lot has changed in the Communist Party of China. What's changed is just what the white monkeys do. Now, it's all propaganda, and it's all to put up a smokescreen so that you don't think that China is doing anything wrong.